things up before we officially start the. So, Dango, can
Mhm.
you hear me? There we go.
Yeah, I hear you loud
Okay,
and clear.
that's good, man. Okay, so before we start, we just share everything. And I cannot see our stream. There we go. Okay, almost ready. So, how is everyone? Two viewers. I'll be checking the comments in a while and then just sharing it to everyone we know. So,
Sure, all good.
yeah, let's go. Okay. So before we start the episode, Dango, have you played Genshin Impact 1.5?
Oh, of course I have.
Well, yeah, I've dabbled into it. Dabble.
Dapple. Hmm.
But yeah, the events are big. There are lots of things we're talking about later. How about some Apex? I mean, I've only played Apex recently just to finish my battle pass. So like,
Well, I've played fairly often with my friends.
yeah. Do you play ranked or not? Not as much.
Oh, wait, not bad. Rank. Well, that's really all I queue for. That's really all we queue for.
Well, that's nice. Yeah. Well, I can say that rank can really hurt mental health sometimes. It's just I don't know. It's just the grind. It's just the grind. I mean, it's rewarding, sure, but yeah, it just sometimes hits you. Hits
Well,
you.
it depends who you're playing with and what their mindset is going into ranked.
Yeah, I mean, if we had the rank philosophy, so to speak, like what our main goal is to just make sure we play aggressive. We find ways to just get the fight
Mm-hmm.
because getting kill points is like the goal. If you don't get kill points, especially in higher rank, you're screwed. Like you wouldn't progress that fast.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess let's go. I guess we can start in a few minutes. A
Mm-hmm.
minute actually. So I'm just gonna turn on some stuff. Share everything is shared, and I guess we can start. And laptop's lagging. Okay. Yeah, I guess we can start. So, Steven, if you can hear me, we're gonna get ready and in like five, four, three, two, and one. So yeah, hi guys, welcome to the Geeky Ones. This is episode 73, and yeah, we're the Geeky Ones. We're a podcast where we cover anything geeky under the sun, from wrestling, movies, video games. We're here to talk all about it. And I'm Jude, and today we will be joined by our guest Dangoflash to discuss the latest updates on Apex Legends, Genshin Impact, and the newest Ratchet and Clank game. So Steven will be on the sidelines to monitor our stream and read our comments. he'll also be he'll be basically in charge of the behind the scenes work, and that's it. And let's get to the episode. So I guess the very first thing. So Tango, say hi, and let's start with Ratchet and Clank. um,
Hello, everyone, to the audience, the viewers, listeners of the Geeky Ones. How you doing?
anyway, okay, let's go. Um, Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart has been announced and has had some gameplay footage recently, and it's a PS5 exclusive. I think it's just like every other Ratchet and Clank game. It's a PS exclusive. I don't think they'll ever venture anywhere outside. It's like a signature franchise, and so far it looks good. And Dango, what are your thoughts on Ratchet and Clank?
Well, for one, I'm I'm excited that um, mascot platformers are a thing again. Like even before Ratchet and Clank, there was like a surge in popularity, especially when Crash Bandicoot 4 came out. Like a lot of people were a bit mixed on the trailer, but they were more optimistic. But when they had their hands to play it, like it didn't have that old clunky classic platforming feel. It felt really smooth and nice as a modern take on the whole mascot platforming genre. And I guess with the first trailer that they showed in the state of play for Ratchet and Clank and the recent gameplay footage and like sort of extended trailer, it looks really cool and I can tell that they are definitely prioritizing the whole strength of the PS5 with this title, like with the
Oh yeah,
performance, loading times, and the graphic fidelity and whatnot. Like I can like I some people might think that well they're not deviating that far from the previous formula, is it? I'm like, well, that's kind of expected because this is one of the first titles on the PS5, so obviously developers are going to focus on um, really pushing the PS5 to the limit, but with little focus on like game innovation because we're practically in the early like baby stage of what the PS5 can do. So they're still trying to figure it out, like the whole capability of the PS5.
yeah. And with the new Ratchet and Clank game, I think apart from the highly upgraded visuals, what I'm what I'm expecting is I think the same classic Ratchet and Clank gameplay. I think they smoothed it out so well in the reboot, the reimagining in the on the PS4, and I think it's gonna be better on the PS5. And I think I expect what I just expect with Ratchet and Clank is just awesome platforming and lots of ridiculous weapons that you can enjoy. And with these graphics, I think I want to see how the destruction looks in game, like how well
Oh
they
yeah.
render. Like I think one of the things that the last Ratchet and Clank game had were like particle effects, like the fur Lombax fur effects. Like it just looks like I think a friend told me it's like playing a Pixar movie in that sense. It's that smooth, it's that fun. Yeah, it's really enjoyable. And State of Play was the last Sony State of Play was basically showcasing how it looks, how it performs well, and the new character, another Lombax.
Mhm,
So
yep.
it's like it's really cool. And there's just something about Ratchet and Clank for me that I think I say that I've played I've played Ratchet and Clank more on the PS2 compared to the likes of Jack and Daxter. I think it has
Mhm.
more lasting appeal than those games. I'm just happy that it's to the test of time, like Crash Bandicoot, because it's one of those platformers that I think can adjust to like
Yeah,
current generation.
because for a while mascot platformers haven't been doing particularly well because there was a period I'd like to call sort of the dark age of mascot platforming where Crash Bandicoot released a bunch of reboots that did not do so well. I
Oh,
remember I did give it a shot. We don't talk about the titles; those don't exist.
those
But
aren't
uh, yeah, kidding aside, like I get that they were trying to give it a more modern take, a new feel, but I'm like, at what expense though? You literally took what made Crash Bandicoot great and just threw it out the window. And
oh god.
that's when like all it takes really is one bad apple in a genre for people to have a changed perspective on it, and that's really when it really started. Because in around that same time I was like, wow, when was the last time I've heard of Sonic being a good game, Crash Bandicoot being a good game? And I guess Jack and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank have just been, like, I would say, niche titles, so they
Yeah,
sounded kind of just, kept their head down. Like, people were like, yeah, that was a thing, but they can't remember if it was really good or really bad, but they just know, yeah, it was a good game.
yeah.
So I think Jack, Daxter, Ratchet and Clank are like looking at each other. We dodged the bullet, didn't we? So with the new title, just to add to what you mentioned, like what you're looking forward to, like, I personally do not have a PS5, not for a lack of trying, but really by choice. I'm really waiting for more
Mhm.
titles to come out because I really want to just sort of binge play all of the exclusives over a period of time. But that, not only that, but yeah, I'm waiting for you know PS5 purchasing problems,
Yeah,
as
like
I lightly put it. I know I'm insinuating something here. I just don't want to throw it out. It's kind of obvious what I'm talking about. But
yeah.
that aside, like they did mention in the trailer that when you're using certain weapons, you'll really feel the effect because of the haptic feedback. And
Oh,
I have seen games on the PS5, like for example, Call of Duty. Like when they upgraded, I think it was Cold War and Modern Warfare to add like haptic feedback for the controller. Like literally every bullet that comes out of the gun, you can really feel the recoil as you're holding the controller. So it would be interesting to see how that would translate in Ratchet and Clank, because as you said, there's like an arsenal of weapons with different effects. It's very chaotic. So it's gonna be in my opinion, I think it's gonna be very interesting to really see how creative the devs can be with what the PS5 has to offer.
yeah. And yeah, I can say that PS5 supply is sad. It's just really sad.
It
Uh,
is. It
it's
is.
I wish more people could have their hands on a PS5. This drive, with disk drive or not, because it's really difficult right now, and also because we want more people to play these games. Imagine these launch titles are actually, this is, well, technically not a launch title, but this is like the first generation lineup of the PS5, and you want it to do well. But I think Ratchet and Clank would be doing well. Rift Apart, I think it arrives in a few months. It arrives this year. Can't remember the release date, but yeah, I'm excited for this one. It's I think this is another great installment to the franchise, especially like after an era of being okay in the PS3.
Yeah, just being
Like
okay or meh.
being
But
okay. Like
honestly,
it was
as long as they take notes from Crash Bandicoot 4, just keep what made the franchise great and
yeah.
improve on that. But don't
Well,
remove
true.
it. You can innovate, but don't deviate, I
Yeah.
guess.
Oh, I can say that if there was one thing that Crash Bandicoot reminded people of is how hard the original trilogy was, or the first
Yes.
game of the trilogy was. So,
That is very
yeah,
true.
I mean, yeah, I think kids weren't ready for that. Today's kids weren't ready for that. But hey, that's Crash Bandicoot, and I think yeah, Ratchet and Clank is gonna be good. But for before we proceed to our next topic, we're gonna talk about a little promo from comics of from us. I think Steven will be explaining this one, and then we proceed to our next topic.
Sure.
So, Steven, where are you? Where are you, Steven?
Can you hear me?
Yep, let's go.
All right.
Loud and
All
clear.
right. All right. Saying hi to Izzy Foz on Facebook and Austin Kuriba. Let's see. What else? Yeah, they just dropped by to say hi. We will be talking about the Comixology promo. It is a $10 gift card giveaway. Once we reach 1,000 followers, we will be giving away a $10 gift card. But you have to do two things. Two things. First,
Hmm.
like the Geeky Ones page, and second, name one, just one comic book artist that we've guested on the podcast. Maybe it's Miguel Mercado. Maybe it's that guy from Comic Spot. Maybe it's Fred Corder, aka that guy from Pocket Full of Pills. We've had a fair number of comic book guests on the podcast. So just find the pinned post on our Facebook page, name one comic book guest, and you are automatically entered to our raffle once we reach 1,000 likes. We are also doing this on Twitch. Once we reach 100 followers on Twitch, we will give away another gift card. So, again, this is not sponsored by Amazon. This is just us giving away $10 gift cards. All right, so that is about it for me. I will be back in a little bit. Jude, take back the lead for Apex Legends.
Okay, let's go. Yeah. Well, yeah, Apex Legends. Let's talk about this right now. In next week on May 4, Apex Legends Season Legacy, not Season 9. They're now naming seasons into their names because previously they've named Apex Legends Season 8 and then the subtitle like I think one Legacy. No, Legacy is season 9, season 8, 7. The previous seasons, we all remember them by number. Now, I think Apex wants us to remember the name, especially with this huge update. This is like I think this is one of the people consider this to be one of the more highly anticipated seasons uh yet. Like I think if there's like anticipated seasons, there's the likes of I think season 2, uh season 7, I think season 5. Those were kind of hype. So let's talk about Apex Legends season legacy, and yeah, let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's get to the details of everything that this next season would offer. So let's start. Yeah, season legacy is the name once more, and it's all about the legacy of Titanfall 2 and how it links to Apex Legends because um, Titanfall 2 is like somewhat of a prequel to Apex Legends, and a good number of the characters uh, in Apex right now are from Titanfall 2, and one new character in particular is an offspring of a Titanfall 2 character, and that is really interesting. So, yeah, but apart from that, the most interesting thing about Apex Legends Season Legacy is um, a new game mode. It's not just Battle Royale, it's no longer just um, drop in the map, face off against 57 other people to become Apex champion. It's next season there's gonna be the arena mode, and this is arguably the biggest update in the game in a long time because it changes the whole thing. It changes the whole complexion of the game. And before I get into any explaining, I want to ask Dangoflash here. What do you think about arena mode? Initial thoughts when you saw it?
Well, to be fair, as a person who's played a lot of FPS games, different ones too. You have the hero shooters, you have the um, the boots on the ground style of FPS. You have battle royale games, but in my opinion, like when I first played Apex Legends when it released, I did tell myself that and this was in a time when battle royale games were really like popular and very condensed, I'd say, on the whole market of shooters. Like just about just about everywhere you look, there was a battle royale game to be found. And I would say that at the time, I did tell myself that Apex Legends is arguably the best battle royale game because of the overall feel, and it did introduce a fair number of things that were not present in my opinion, their most primary like rival or competitor, which was PUBG. One thing, of course, like you had heroes that had talents, and of course, people were comparing it to, oh, it's just Overwatch with a battle royale mode. And to be fair, that is a fair assumption. But in a battle royale environment, like having those skills add a whole new dynamic on how you approach, how you make strategies, tactics, how you engage in gunfights, etc. But in my opinion, like it was the only battle royale game I remember at the time that had a revival system, and I'm just like,
Yeah, it did.
wait, that is like a lot of people make this. Wait, that's illegal. I'm like, yeah, that's illegal, but that's why I enjoyed Apex Legends so much because amidst the chaos, people die really fast, be it because of bad luck or bad gunfight, whatever. But with the whole revival mechanic being available, it just adds like a whole like, oh, you have another chance, like even after you die. I'm like, really like that's a really like simple idea, but applied to a genre that didn't have it ever, I'm like, whoa, this 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 makes it feel different. But as for the arena mode, it when I saw this update, you know, it was the first thing that even came to mind. I'm like, man, Overwatch could have used something like similar to this, a new kind of game mode to liven up the scene. Because I will say that Apex Legends as a battle royale is fine. Like it's a really good, really fun, addicting battle royale game. Regardless if you're competitive or a casual player, you'll enjoy it. But now that this has this game mode that focuses on literal dogfights with guns, because you're just one team facing another team. If you die, you die. There's no respawn, and there's sort of that Counter Strike element where you have eco rounds where you don't spend all the money you have, where you budget so that you have better weapons later on, and you try to squeeze in wins somewhere there. You basically plan how each round is going to go, and it has a whole new dynamic there. In a game, in a battle royale that's very chaotic, you're adding a whole new flavor, which is like a slow, methodical execution of gunfights. That's just crazy and genius at the same time, in my opinion. And the fact that it's a hero shooter, it fits it like a glove because I've played hero shooters and I've played more traditional FPSs. Like I played Modern Warfare, R6 Siege, Counter Strike, Overwatch, and having an arena mode in Battle Royale, I'm like, oh my, I want to see how well this is going to work. Because Apex Legends did prove to me that Battle Royale can feel really fresh and not so dragging and boring as a genre. So I can't. I'm really excited for this new game mode. Like I want to see if they're. I want to see how their creative process manifests in this game mode.
Okay. So yeah, that's a really nice insight. So also one thing worth noting about Apex Legends Arena mode is it was actually proposed in September 2019 and like the second season of the game, which kind of surprised me. Like I saw a tweet from the guy who from one of the lead designers at Respawn. he actually said that he first proposed this on a PowerPoint in 2019, where it was just really a rough draft of arena mode. But yeah, as Dango said, arena mode is a 3v3 um 3v3 mode that is like set in one map. So it's like it's in the likes of CS:GO and Valorant, and there are there's an economy, there's an in-game economy where you have to manage your skills, healing items, and guns. You really have to make sure that you you save up as efficiently as you can, because if you don't, you're gonna be on the back foot of the whole game. But yeah, I'm curious to see how arena mode would allow certain some legends to be better on that mode than the battle royale mode. Because I think there are certain legends that are not being as used as much in battle royale, eh, but I think would excel in an arena mode, in a slower paced mode. I think one example I would give in this particular case is Rampart. Rampart is a great legend.
Oh yeah.
It's a solid legend that allows you to create instant cover. Allows you to set up a place where you can safely shoot in a battle royale setting. But I think if you apply her skills in like an arena mode, slower, where uh, managing your health, your ammo, and positioning is key. Like even more so, I think someone like her would excel. And apart from her, I think someone like Gibraltar, of course, would excel. The guy drops an instant shield on anyone, and he has a gun shield that gives him like more HP when you're shooting it, when getting shot up front. So but yeah, what do you think, Dango? How do you think some legends would be? Do you think some of the more underappreciated legends would be used more in this new mode?
This new mode will definitely bring to light the strongest points of I would say underrated or underpicked legends in the battle royale mode. Well, personally, I'm not I'm not a I'm not a tier I'm not a tier loyalist. I do know though that people do have like a tier list for characters in just about any game, and more so in Apex Legends, where it's a hero shooter. So different abilities, different strengths, different weaknesses, etc. And this game mode will bring to light like people who thought this hero is weak or underpowered. Like it will just show like in a gunfight in this kind of scenario, this is why they are a big threat. So in addition to what you mentioned, I would also say that someone who, in my opinion, is an okay character will like really shine here. I think would be Bangalore, because
Ooh.
in a limited area, your smoke screen can be used to its full potential defensively or offensively. Where in most cases in a battle royale setting, you literally use it as a smoke screen to get from point A to point B. Or if you're under fire, you place that down, hope the enemy team doesn't have a the scanner with the ult. But in addition to that, it also makes sure your teammates can recover, rotate without being seen. But in an arena setting, um, it's just like there's the whole new dynamic now for the smokes. Like it can be used definitely offensively, because in a small area, if your opponents cannot see where you're coming from, that turns into a whole situation where they have to play defensively. They can't just peek out of smoke with no abandon, because they'll just get shot at. Because in most cases, the team with the Bangalore will slowly, encroach on the whole smoked area. And while I know that Bloodhound has always been like a safe, strong pick. I think in addition to Bloodhound and Lifeline, like if there was, I don't think there will be because the hero pool is fairly small, but it's understandable. Um, if there was like ban one hero, I would definitely ban Lifeline 100% of the time. Because the fact that Lifeline can res someone and just leave them there, I'm just I'm like, whoa, that's a whole like you're leaning in so much into the lore and theme of Lifeline being an actual medic. Like, yeah, that's good. But in an arena setting, that's really, really annoying. Because imagine downing someone, they go behind cover. Normally, what you would do is you would reload, recover yourself, or reposition. But in that situation, and you know they still have a lifeline, you're like, I cannot let this momentum that we have slow down. We have to press it. And sometimes if the enemy team is smart, they can set up a trap or like a proper line of sight where when you try to finish off their downed opponent, you just screwed yourself over and your team.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I didn't notice. Yeah. Yeah. Lifeline is gonna be annoying. I mean, she is already so hard to deal with in the battle royale, like especially with her skill set right now. But yeah, I really hope this changes the legend meta because I think arena and battle royale would have huge differences. So I just hope that more of the underpicked legends would be appreciated here. And yeah, I think that's it for arena mode. I'm excited for this. They said that they're not gonna do any rank stuff. And oh, looking at the comments, someone said arena should have an objective to make it even better. And I think that would be nice to have in the near future. But since they're making since this is a fresh new idea, I think yeah they're gonna ease in people to arena mode before they add anything new. But they said they're definitely adding rank. So what do you think about that, Dango? Like putting an objective in arena mode?
I will entertain that idea, but I think if you want to play an objective style kind of mode, I think that would be better as a separate game mode rather than it being integrated in arena mode. Because the way I see it, for example, um, like back in the day when the only FPS game we practically known at the time was Counter Strike, there were only two game modes. There was deathmatch and well bomb and rescue the hostages. And you could argue that well, technically for both hostage and bomb game mode, technically if you play it like a deathmatch, it's the same result. You just kill everyone on the other side and you win. While that
Yeah.
is true, do note that having the objective included adds a whole caveat to yeah, we can win in a straight up gunfight, but would it be easier if we just won the objective? Because that's where the whole word cheese really started. Like you can be crap at aiming in Counter-Strike, Valorant, Rainbow Six Siege, whatever. But if you know how to properly utilize your equipment and your abilities, you can win a round without firing or even killing a single person. And I have seen it happen in Rainbow Six Siege myself.
Yeah. Oh
Like
god.
a properly executed smoke on the site so they cannot directly fire at you. You plant the diffuser, and the whole post plant situation is just hell because they don't know. They have an idea where you are, but because of how much easier it was for you to plant the diffuser, you probably plant it in a location where if they try to diffuse it, they just get popped. Or I guess in Counter Strike, rushing a site, as much as the memes have said that that's not a real tactic. No, it's only a meme tactic if poorly executed. But when it's properly executed,
Yeah, it's
not
it's
not
hell
just in
on
Counter
earth.
Strike but also in Valorant, it is
Yeah.
very difficult to defend when people are throwing flashes, smokes, mollies, grenades in your face. And even if you try to just peek out, probably the whole team is there waiting for you to pop your head and just blast you with one headshot. I mean, and even if they cannot aim like pros or whatnot, the fact that they can just execute a properly planned rush and plant is just very dangerous. More dangerous than a straight up gunfight, in my opinion. So that's why I
Okay.
think while the idea of adding objectives in arena mode might be a good idea, I think it would be a better idea to just have it as a separate game mode. Because
Okay.
arena mode to me, if I were to translate it, arena mode is practically team deathmatch.
Yeah. I
It's a
think
Hey,
traditional
just
like
wanted to
kill
sneak in.
enemy team.
Mm. All right, I just wanted to sneak in and mention Izzy Fozz's earlier comment. He
Mm-hmm.
said, Dangoflash should write a book. I would buy it.
What?
Ayos,
Wait,
huh?
a book?
All
Oh,
right, I'm
what kind
out.
of book? I'd like to
anyway.
know that.
So yeah, but I think yeah, I think objectives would kind of hurt the essence of what arena mode is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think it stems from people complaining that I hate third parties. If I were in a 3v3 fight, in a fair 3v3 fight, I would beat this team. So I think this is like
Mm-hmm.
the culmination of that frustration into one game mode. But I'm excited for this, and I'm looking forward to trying this on once it launches. So let's
Mm-hmm.
go. Next thing we have to talk about is Valkyrie.
Yep.
Now, when she was introduced, people had flashbacks on how good Horizon was in season 7 and how good she still is now in this current season. People are scared of Flying Legends. I think I remember comparing Horizon to the likes of Jet in Valorant, where super high mobility characters in an FPS game kind of breaks the system by being just so hard to hit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the initial fear of Valkyrie, but eventually, when when character trailers popped up and some early gameplay footage, early testing footage came up, uh, looks like Valkyrie is a highly mobile legend, but they did enough to like make sure that she doesn't become as broken as Day One Horizon in that sense, because Day One Horizon was a nightmare, and there's a reason I run Horizon in Apex because having her is just like,
She is annoying to fight. I'll
yeah,
agree.
having her against another squad with a Horizon is like helps even the odds a bit, but yeah, she is really a handful to deal with. And with Valkyrie being a flying legend, people are scared, but I think based on gameplay footage, I think they did enough to differentiate her from Horizon while not being too over like while not being overpowered. So what do you think about Valkyrie? First thoughts, Dango.
Well, not just Valkyrie in particular, but when it comes to balancing a hero character that has abilities and whatnot, I always like going back to the whole philosophy that Ubisoft's Rainbow Six Siege team does. They have this philosophy where no hero, character, agent, operator should be able to have a global influence on the match with just one push of the button. And they had one operator that had that. That was Launch Day Lion. That's why he was literally put in a competitive quarantine where ranked matches and official esports tournaments banned him. Like they cannot use him. They did that so that teams and competitive players didn't waste a ban on Lion because everyone knew that he was just straight up broken. And he was so broken, like all you had to do was push one button, and that's his ability, and you're good to go. Like
God.
you're so oppressive. So when I use that philosophy whenever I see hero shooters or shooters where like individual like skills and whatnot come into play. So not just in Valorant, but obviously also in Apex, I look out for heroes that have can they influence the whole situation, the whole field with just one push of a button, be it an ultimate or a skill. If it's not the case in any and every scenario, then I think it's fairly balanced. So, for example, let's take a very in my opinion, someone who's really, really underpicked. Let's take Watson for example.
Oh,
Um, you have to set. You need two poles to set up a trap that actually works. And to be fair, it's not. It's very situational because in a big field, unless those traps are already set up, no one is going to allow you to put those traps in the middle of a gunfight unless you're in the perfect situation to do so. And even if you did, you have people like Horizon, Pathfinder, uh, Octane that can just help their teammates get over the trap. And her
yeah.
ult, it's very. You'd think that the regenerate on the shields is very fast. Not exactly. And in my opinion, it shouldn't be fast. It's fairly slow. It's meant to do what it's supposed to do. It's not meant to recover your shields. It's meant to strengthen your foothold in an area, because the reason why its regeneration is slow is because Watson is categorized as a defender, not as a support or a healer. If she was a healer, then maybe that ult would regen faster. But if that did do it, then I think she would be picked a lot more often. Another example would be, let's say, let's say one of the base heroes. Yeah, let's take Wraith for example. There's a reason now why Wraith has to channel her standard skill, right?
Yeah.
Because to be fair, while it's defensive, it's really annoying when you have your R99 or your basically assault rifle or SMG ready to just down her in like 2 seconds. But the moment you breathe on her, she just pops that and then runs away. I'm like, wow, that is annoying. So
Yeah.
while it's not oppressive, it's just really punishing for you because you just wasted ammo, you revealed yourself to the enemy, and worse, you have to reload your clip if you didn't have trigger discipline. So that's why they
Oh,
added
yeah.
like the channel
So,
for Raid's ability.
yeah.
So she has to, she can't just use it willy nilly. Like it has to be deliberate, it has to be planned, and even if you use it on reaction, it's at least it's not as cheap or cheesy as it was before. And that's just my opinion. So with Valkyrie, I of course I cannot say much based on the trailer because the trailer doesn't show us numbers. It just shows us the kit in action, but we don't know how much damage those missiles are doing. We don't know how like in gameplay, like in actual gameplay. While it is a gameplay trailer, it's different when you have ping and the current situation in effect. You don't know if Valkyrie's movement is really fast or if it's just right. And if the missiles don't hurt as much, then I guess it follows my general philosophy of not having influence, but with the push of a button.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
I think I
mhm.
can say one thing about Horizon. About Valkyrie. Based on the testing for season 9, her missiles deal like around 25, and then has this arc star effect, which we'll talk about later.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll wait to see it in action before I put a verdict. But in my
Yeah.
opinion, as long as she's not push one button, win, then I think she's in an okay spot.
Yeah. And I think they made her jets, her flying jets, not fast enough, so you can still shoot her out of the sky if you're good at if you have good aim. So
Yeah, yes,
that's
yes.
good. But yeah. But yeah, that's Valkyrie, and one fun fact: she is the daughter of Viper from Titanfall 2, which is an annoying boss battle. That's one thing that's really awesome. I just like the Titanfall connection, getting stronger and stronger each season. But yeah, that's Valkyrie, and next season we also have a new weapon called the Bowcheck bow. I just find the name so weird, Bowcheck, and it's a bow. Like you can just call it the Bowcheck. Um,
I was actually
but
gonna
yeah,
say, why not just call it the Bojack?
yeah, it's just easier. It just sounds so redundant if you still put bow on it. But yeah, naming aside, the Bowcheck bow looks like a weapon that can change. Another way to change how you play the game, and one noteworthy feature is that it has two hop ups, and you can equip both hop ups at the same time, which I think that would be bound for some nerfing soon. But let's take a look at the hop ups. The hop ups, one is Shatter Caps. Shatter Caps gives like the bow a shotgun effect,
Hmm.
so it's great for close range. It's basically the great hop up to use when you're in a pinch, if because
Yeah.
you're using a marksman weapon, and using a marksman weapon up close, so you need a bit of insurance that it can at least hit someone within 5 feet of you. So uh, there's that, and then there's Dead Man's Temple, which is kind of scary from how it looks, because it allows you to ramp up the speed of the firing rate by after hitting a player. So the more you hit, the faster it goes. So that's gonna be scary. That's gonna be weird. But yeah, also it can only use one time, two time, and three time sights, which is for me fair, because if you put a sniper scope on that, I'd hate it. I'd hate it a lot. But yeah, I remember joking to my friend that, hey, look, they put a Warframe weapon in Apex. That's interesting. But yeah, yeah, your thoughts, Dango, on this?
Well, first thing I thought when they added the bow, I'm like, oh boy, we really haven't recovered from that whole phase where if if you can give a character a bow and arrow, just do it because it's popular. We've had it for the past couple of years, like Tomb Raider, Horizon Zero Dawn, Last of Us, characters that have had a bow and arrow. And to be fair, using a bow and arrow is fun. But I find it even more hilarious when in an era where people are teleporting, scanning through walls, uh,
Throwing black holes.
throwing a friggin' event horizon, black holes, um, Geneva Convention questioning tactics. Yes, I'm looking at you, Caustic. High tech weapons. Here, bow and arrow. What? Wow.
I mean, here I get it when they put it in Horizon Zero Dawn, because it's like they got bombed back to the Stone Age in some
Yeah,
sense. But yeah, putting it on Apex, wow,
like
the
it's
most sophisticated
hilarious. But
technology.
yeah, but jokes aside, as a weapon, I think it's a good bridge between, like, in my opinion, there are only two DMRs right now. Before the bow, you've had the longbow. Huh, what a coincidence there. Bow check bow longbow. You have the longbow and the G7 Scout. So the G7 Scout is a lot easier to use and it's more versatile than the longbow because at mid to mid long range and even at short range, it's very easy to use. The recoil is very generous. Regardless of what sight you slap on it, it's very accurate. As for the longbow, that that DMR is like meant for mid to long range. Anything closer than mid range is a bit of a stranger danger territory. And I think the Bocek
Nightmare.
bow Yes, a nightmare. I think the Bocheck Bow though is a bridge between the two, where it can basically be a more painful P20K pistol with the first hop
First,
up, or
yeah.
it can be like a more reliable Mozambique or Evo 8 with the shotgun hop up. But either way, the fact that it's categorized as a DMR means that if you are accurate with it, it is going to hurt. Because that is the identity I attach to DMRs and sniper rifles. You have to be accurate with them. You don't have to control recoil. You just have to be really accurate with them. If you're able to, um, like, if I were to compare how a gunfight with an assault rifle and a sniper rifle or DMR would be like, as a snipe, if using an SMG and assault rifle, it's more of a not how well can you aim, but how well can you control the recoil.
Hmm.
Because within a whole clip, you should hit them with like X number of clips. But with a DMR or a sniper rifle, you're not counting how many times did you hit. You're counting how many times did you miss, because that's more important. It's more important to hit your shots with a DMR sniper rifle than an assault rifle and a submachine gun, because generally assault rifles and submachine guns have larger clip sizes and they reload pretty fast. But DMRs and sniper rifles have a fairly low clip size and reload quite slow. And that's really just because of balance, and I guess you can say a bit of realism. With a heavier clip, a heavier type of ammo, whatever, it hurts more. But to balance it out, you have to be really accurate.
And
Like,
you have to carry it
imagine,
around.
yeah, imagine if you could fire an op from the hip as if you were firing an AK or an M4 from Counter Strike. Straight up broken, right? And that's why you have to aim with the DMR. And as long as the bow check bow punishes bad aim, then I think it's a well balanced weapon. But of
Yeah.
course, we'll have to wait and see for the launch to see how much damage it does depending on the hop ups. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I didn't have a clear, even though I've watched a few testing clips. Yeah, I don't have a clear idea on how what the default damage is. So yeah, it's there are times that it looks devastating, but yeah, it rewards. It's a high skill ceiling weapon from how it looks like already. Like for me, I think it's really down to how well your reflexes can handle this weapon. But
Mhm.
last part, let's look at the patch notes very real quick. What the patch notes say? A few more details. Oh, before you go, that oh yeah, Dango, someone felt attacked with your rate assessment on the
My rate,
comments with how
rate
you talked
assessment.
about rate. Yeah, with how you talked about rate a while ago.
What
Yeah,
did
but yeah,
they?
it's understandable that rate has the escape ability of rate is just you're
It's
one
annoying
shot
to deal with. It is
you're
annoying to
one to
deal
two
with.
shots away from knocking her down and then she
And then boom.
disappears.
But as a Wraithbane, don't worry. You have my sympathies. I am not a fan of the nerf, but I understand why it had to be done. To
Yeah,
be
I
fair.
mean,
To
yeah,
be fair.
the insta escape was kind of game breaking, but it was fun while it lasted. Oh yeah, imagine Horizon's black hole and Valkyrie's missiles. Oh, that's gonna be insane. I think it's gonna be worse than Fuse's ultimate with Horizon's ultimate.
I mean, to be fair, that's literally Zarya and Pharah from Overwatch. It's the
Yeah.
same effect.
Yeah, but let's look at the patch notes. And oh, there are they mentioned the maps of arena mode. So there's Party Crasher where the Mirage Voyage may have finally found its home because it crashed on a planet. So that's one. Phase Runner,
Lore
which is
accurate.
a yeah. Phase Runner, which is the biggest map in the arena mode, and it looks like to be the signature map of arena mode because there's a
Mhm.
teleporter, there's lots of places to take height, get cover, and and the whole shebang. Next one, the other maps is from the game maps itself. Artillery from King's Canyon, which I like because I love fight. I love going to artillery.
I love
The
King's
other one
Canyon as a map.
is yeah. Although I would have liked to see airbase, although airbase would be a bit too small for an arena map. Um, Golden Gardens from Olympus, which is as I would say, third party central. It's a map with lots
Oh
of
yeah.
houses, and it's kind of annoying to fight because everyone is inside the house or on top of the roof or both. Like it's just bad. And then we get Thermal Station, which is a really huge corner of World's Edge. And a favorite drop spot, it's kind of tricky to fight. So that's one thing to note on that.
Yep.
So yeah, yeah, someone mentioned about the mobile version. We'll talk about that after the patch notes real quick. New Legend Valkyrie. Okay, she has her VTOL jets as passives. One thing worth noting about her passive is that she cannot shoot while flying. You have to cancel
Okay,
it,
that's
so
really
she shoots
good.
while dropping. So that prevents any trauma from Horizon.
Hmm.
So, oh, by the way, she's a recon class, so she can scan beacons. And one of her passives is that she can scan people on her line of sight while skydiving, so you can know if there's an enemy diving with you, which is a
Huh.
godsend for me because sometimes you don't hear anyone dropping on your ass when you're just starting. Like, oh, there's like three people next to me. I didn't hear that, but yeah, the bow check. Oh yeah, Olympus has a map change. They changed one corner of the map, like an infected version of the map. So I think it's gonna change up. Oh, this one is important, Dango. Starter kit and loot changes. So when you drop, you now have a white helmet, white shield, knockdown shield level one, two shield cells, and two syringes. What do you think about that?
Well, this doing this just makes bad RNG less of a pain.
Yeah,
Like in my opinion, it's less of a pain now that you have a starter kit. I think that it doesn't break the whole RNG element of a battle royale, but it at least doesn't punish a team that has bad RNG.
yeah.
So
Like I remember dropping with nothing, and then someone in front of me has a vault. So like I remember those moments, and if I had this starter kit, I think I would have tried. I would have made a bit more effort to survive on that fight. So yeah, I think this is healthy.
because to be fair, when you drop to a point, one of the first things you're gonna look for is a weapon, not
Yeah,
necessarily armor or recovery items. Because especially when you know that there's another team that dropped near you, you want to look for a gun, any gun. So the fact that after you pick up a gun, you don't have to worry about having no armor or no helmet, that's at least a plus.
yeah. I think this just makes people go straight into combat more quickly than ever. Like this
Yep.
is good, and that the fact that you have a fighting chance by having heals is kind of a great thing. And
Hmm.
like the Evo Shield, like making Evo Shields permanent, a permanent feature. I think this is gonna be one of the healthiest updates that they have. This is gonna be really good. Next is emotes. Well, I don't have to say too much about emotes, but yeah, there's emotes are fun. I think doing them in the middle of a firefight is dumb but funny. But yeah, there are emotes now in Apex, so that's it. um, Oh yeah, okay. Legend updates. Low profile characters. There's no more low profile. Like no more. There's no HP deduction. There's no more. There are no legends that take more damage because they have small hitboxes. So that's
I
one.
think that's a like a lot of people might think it's a nerf to Wraith, but in my honest opinion, at high level of play, I think the fact that they removed that is a technical bug.
Yeah.
Because on high
Oh
level play, people don't miss. They just don't.
yeah. And yeah, it's really healthy. It's really great. And um, yeah, thank you. Go profile no longer exists. They removed it on Pathfinder this season, so I think the experiment worked. Lifeline. Now, Lifeline has been kind of reworked. So Lifeline no longer deploys a shield when she revives someone. So that's kind of
Thank
nice.
God.
But she can now revive two players at the same time. But she
I
can
don't think
also
that's a
cancel.
problem.
Yeah, she can also cancel revives that are in progress. So it allows teammates who are knocked to use knockdown shields just
Hmm.
in case. And the healing drone has been buffed a bit. The heal rate is increased. So there's that, and the care package, because the care package has been pretty much useless in Apex. Like you drop it, but it doesn't really give you a guaranteed update. Now it does.
And
Like
yeah,
it's now 5 minutes for cooldown. It now guarantees an upgrade in three categories. So it if you have a shield that if you have a shield a low level shield, you can drop the care package and it will give you something better. So that's really good. Octane has been went from like B tier legend, C tier legend to like S tier legend, and it's been being used in competitive games in just like a season, just because they gave more attention to his kit. They improved his kit. Now they're gonna nerf him. Stim cooldown is reduced from 4 sec. Reduce the cooldown from 1 second to 4 seconds. So I don't think I think it allows people to just not spam stim. And also the health cost for using a stim is now 20 HP from 12 HP. So I guess that's okay because octanes are kind of annoying to face in. They're kind of in the same category as run in the runaway as rate.
yeah,
So I can say this is a fair shake. Also increased bullet spread when using the launch pad. So that's one. While firing on the launch pad. Now, my favorite one is Loba. Loba has been buffed because Loba's tactical doesn't work sometimes. It's like
yeah,
it works 60% of the time, and on the 40% that it doesn't, you're the one you're being shot. But now, her tactical can be used while running and sliding, and once she once she teleports, she no longer gets slowed down as well. She can run normal speed. So and
really
then
good.
they fixed a lot of bugs essentially. So it's this by next season it should work. So that's the goal. Black market they increased the cooldown because I think it was a bit too fast. Loba was a bit too her
It
ultimate was a bit
was,
too fast.
it
Like
was.
early game, but it was too good early game. It's too good. Like you get instant loot very, 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 very quick. So that's annoying. What else? Let's see. Horizon is basically nerfed to the ground. So her lift speed has been reduced by 30%. She no longer has her side to side strafe. Upon ascending is slowed down, and then if you can stay and the amount of time you can stay on top of her gravity lift is now 2 seconds instead of like I think it was like 10 seconds. You can stay there for like a while before you drop, right?
Yeah, yeah, you could.
So now they basically nerfed her a lot, um and also her ultimate can now be zapped by Watson. So that's nice. So I
Cool.
think it gives Watson a bit more usability.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You can't throw stuff through it anymore because
yeah, you
that
can
used to
throw
be
stuff
like,
without consequence, and it's gonna be good. Fuse now has two charges of his knuckle cluster, which allows him to grenade spam because the goal of um the goal of Fuse was like he's the guy who's the grenadier of the team, so of sorts. It's kind of weird. Bangalore, they thickened the smoke. So Dango, when you were mentioning Bangalore smoke, I think she's gonna be great for arena now with her thickened smoke.
definitely.
Bloodhound no longer receives assists from his tactical, which is fair because you just scan the guy you didn't shoot. That's unfair if you get an assist in that. um, Crypto's drone can now scan and open care packages, which is nice. He can no longer use his drone to hijack a respawn beacon that use, but he can still use respawn beacons. Weapon updates. There's a marksman weapon category, which basically adjusts the stray speed of marksman weapons. Instead of they're faster than snipers but slower than ARs and SMGs. Fair.
Mhm.
Supply drop rotation. The peacekeeper is now ground loot. What do you think about that?
As a person who preferred the Peacekeeper even over the what's the
Stiff.
Mastiff? Yeah, the Mastiff. Even at launch, even though Mastiff was a red like epic gun, I still preferred the Peacekeeper over it. So I'm
Yeah.
really glad that it's a ground drop now. Like, thank God.
Yeah, but I wish they brought back the Mastiff inside the care package just to balance things out. So, but still, shotgun meta is gonna be crazy. Triple take is now the care package weapon because I think the triple take is the easiest sniper to use in game, and it's the one that allows you to survive close range the most.
Yes, I agree with that.
Ups. We talked about the hop ups. They reduced the headshot damage of ARs. So
Mm.
they're just continuing that. Triple take ground blue. Havoc. They buffed the recoil, so it's easier to control. And for the Spitfire, they increased the recoil. But apart from that, they didn't do anything to the Spitfire. And for me, it's the most annoying gun this season. What do you think about the Spitfire, Dago?
Um, as as someone who picks wait, what's the I keep forgetting the name. The one with the Gatling gun as an ult.
Oh, Rampart.
Rampart, thank you. As someone who picks Rampart very often because of the LMG passive buff, I highly agree. There have been many times where I win gunfights like way too easily just because I'm using the Spitfire.
Yeah, but like I don't know. It's for me the concept of the Spitfire is that while the enemy is reloading, you're not. You're
Yeah, you're
still
not.
shooting. It kind of breaks the fight. You can squad wipe with this in one clip, so that's
You
really
can.
busted. So
I
I
mean,
think
if
they're
they
gonna. I think
wanted just a
what
personal opinion, if they wanted to maybe I wouldn't say buff or nerf, but uh if they wanted to tweak how LMGs work, they can give this whole reduced recoil controllability early in the pattern thing normal, but when you're crouching, it's not as much. Because I mean, you do know that the golden rule in FPS games is that crouching makes you a very easy target because your
yeah.
head is now chest level.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Okay, that's the Spitfire 3030 now can use the hop-ups of the bow. So that that makes the 3030 a bit more useful, although I'm not gonna use it still. I don't like it. It's just a weird gun to use. Longbow and Wingman have the increased headshot multiplier, so I think they're removing the skull piercer for this one for the C.
Yeah.
They removed the hammer points, so they're buffing the Mozambique and P2020 by expanding their mag sizes. So
Whew, lovely. I love those guns.
Arc stars, aim and movement slowed are now removed. So when you get stuck, you can still run and shoot.
Yeah, I think that's a very good nerf to the
Yeah,
Arc Star.
because I think as a controller player, our sensitivity lowers so much when we get slowed. Like even the sensitivity of the aim is just like busted when we get stuck. So like I'm dead, it's gone. So
Like
yeah, apart from
even if it's quite difficult to hit someone with the Arc Star directly, at least getting hit by it doesn't mean the end of the world immediately.
yeah, I think this gives a fair shake two fights. But yeah, with those patch notes, I think it makes fights a bit more interesting now. Um, yeah, it's of course Apex Legends is gonna be a sweat fest from until Sweatfest all day
Yeah.
for the most part of the day. But yeah, I think these changes are kind of healthy, especially the armor change. The fact that you have healing and a shield instantly, that's gonna be good. Oh yeah, I think. Oh yeah. Before we leave this topic, we're gonna talk about. Have you seen the Apex Legends mobile version?
I I did see some screenshots of it, and to be fair, although people are like, this why mobile games aren't taken seriously. To be fair, the whole point of mobile games is to be able to play it on a cell phone.
Yeah, the
And
fact
to
that
be fair, the fact that you're able to play a battle royale on a phone, like I know PUBG has done it before, and I mean, for Apex Legends to do that, that's impressive. But of course,
yeah.
we'll see how smooth it is. Like
Oh yeah.
it doesn't have to be graphically impressive. It just has to be like performance wise, it has to be smooth.
Yeah. Oh, although I did see someone stream this, which was kind of funny. They streamed the beta version. Pathfinder is not yet there. I think they could not handle adjusting Pathfinder for mobile, which I was fearing because how can you adjust this? How can you adjust certain movement legends in a mobile platform? So I think they're gonna fix that. It's gonna take a while for them to find out the right formula for. Although battle royale games on mobile platforms have been done well before. So next one. We're at our second promo. So Steven will show up and talk about our little promo with Shopee.
All right. So thanks to our friends at Shopee for helping us get these affiliate links. Do click on the tinyurl.com/ShopeeTGJ. You can get vouchers, discounts, and all on Shopee's 5/5 sale, which is actually happening this Wednesday. So if you're listening to this right now, maybe you're listening on a Tuesday night, click on our link, tinyurl.com/ShopeeTGJ, and we get a small portion from each click, each successful sale. All right. So before we continue, let's take a look at the comments. We've got Is he
Yeah, I
Fall saying he's
mentioned.
a PK main here? Ah, okay. All right. Sige. All right. So we are now an hour in. I'm not sure how much longer Dango Flash
We
will be
have one
available.
more nice little topic
Yes.
to finish
All
off
right.
the day. So
Let's
let's get
finish it
on
off
to.
strong with Dango Flash and Genshin Impact.
Okay, Genshin Impact. Let's go. The Genshin Impact version 1.5. Well, this is one of the. This is I can say bigger than the previous two updates in terms of just a lot. Just so much content that was introduced to the game. Um, and it's really a lot of content. But let's start with it. First off, the newest thing about 1.5 is that there are two new characters, which are surprising since they're pretty fresh. Like you haven't seen them; they're not mentioned before. So I find it interesting. So that was Yuga and Yanfei. Yanfei is a Leeway character who's kind of like Ganyu, Illuminated Beast, who's a legal advisor for in Leeway, and then Yuga is a Knight of Avonius, a cryo user, and Yanfei is Pyro. So yeah, this is interesting. So what do you think about the characters, Dango? The two new guys.
I did try to roll for Yenfei this banner, but instead I got C2 Diluc. So that means I am on a guaranteed character banner pity, so I'm saving up for Eula when she
Nice.
comes out. Because I've always wanted a great sword primary DPS, and the whole kit that I've seen so far from Eula looks very interesting. As for Yen Fei, um, not not to throw anything at Cleemains, but I did like the idea of having another pyro magic user, because to be fair, I just find Klee as a pyrocaster a bit clunky. because of the animations and the overall flow of how her attacks go. But I can overlook it because Clay is still fun to use. But after seeing like what Yanfei can do and whatnot, I'm like, "Ooh, very interesting."
Yeah, really. Yeah, I find them really good. Like, I think one thing I notice about both of them is that their attack animations are kind of smooth. Like, Yuga's like very very quick for a Claymore user, and Yanfei is quick for a Catalyst user. It's like they're really fun. They look really fun to use. They have a great set of skills, and yeah, I'm rolling for Yanfei too. But I got a C6 Diona and a C5 Noel, so I'm fine with it. I'm getting to
Well,
the
I live by this philosophy: love your roles, and your roles will love you.
yeah. I
That's how I
enjoyed that.
got
But
Gene.
I'm okay with the rolls I got. I got Jean instead of Tartaglia. So if I keep on rolling, I can get the Zhongli. But if I miss out on that, I'm
That
getting
means you'll just
Yuga.
get
So
Viola. Yeah.
yeah, I'm fine with either. Although I kind of want the Zhongli because shields.
Zhongli is Zhongli is straight up broken, like
Yeah.
broken in a good way.
Yeah, I like it, it helps he helps so much in fights. But apart from the new characters, there are also new bosses. Ajdaha and the cryo hypostasis. I want to talk about the cryo hypostasis first because for me this is the strongest hypostasis out of every hypostasis in the game right now. Um, it has wide range attacks and it can kill you. It can kill your characters if you just stay still. You really need shields for this fight too. What do you think about
Worst
the
is your.
new what?
Oh yeah, well, you were. I was getting to where you were gonna ask me anyway. What I think about it. Uh, let's not forget you're also fighting that thing in Dragon Spine. So,
Yeah, oh
the whole
yeah, you're
cold
fighting the
effect,
cold dragon.
the whole cold
It's,
effect. So unless you have a really strong pyro character, you are not going to down the cryo hypo before you have to deal with the cold effect.
yeah, I'm just happy that I rode Diluc on the standard banner, and now I at least have a chance on destroying Disciple Stasis on a regular basis because it's really hard. Next is
Well, I have
Ashdaha.
C1 Hutao. My
Oh
C1
wow,
Hutao
yeah,
practically, yeah, my C1 Hutao practically melts it. But still,
yeah, it's just
I have to be not careless because
yeah
one
because
slip up, I'm like, yeah,
your Hutao is gone
yeah, my
after
Hutao will
one
be gone.
mistake. Let's go to Azdaha, which is like essentially Primo Geo Bishop on steroids, a bit
Yep.
larger than that. It's this is an AOE attack fest of a boss battle. When I faced him, lots of Geo attacks, lots of underground attacks, lots of AOE attacks. Pretty much, it's just really difficult to deal with. You really need a shield character for this guy. And then the fact that he changes elements is just annoying. So you really need to bring multiple element characters there. But yeah, what's your impression of Azdaha if you played it?
Don't worry, I cleared all of the content already, so that every day it's just the usual dailies.
Yeah, they,
As a boss fight, I was very satisfied because I'm like, comparing the fights with um Storm Terror, Tartaglia, and Lupus Boreas, I would say that Ashdaha was a breath of fresh air. I
yeah.
would
I
say
think I
that
could say big fight
I
feel.
wouldn't say Ashdaha is unfair, but I would say Ashdaha was a very decent challenge, an enjoyable challenge, I'd say.
Yeah. And I think the story has like a bit more spoiler though, but had trial Zhongli, so it was kind of fun. Yay!
Yes,
It was that made it that gave a nice degree that yeah, it was really challenging because it makes you realize that you really need someone with a shield
shield
on that fight.
characters. Yep, you need it.
It's so hard. You're gonna get destroyed in a few minutes without any semblance of a shield in front of you. So yeah, really great boss fight. And yeah, apart from that, let's see. Let's see. Before we go to the housing update, I want to talk about the recent event, Energy Amplifier Initiation, which introduces like a new domain challenge and like introduces super buffed enemies Were you able to try that dango? It was so crazy when I tried it. It was so
I have.
difficult. I
It
got
is
so
not.
pissed.
It is not an easy fight to solo. At the to say the least, it is not easy if you're running all debuffs, even minus the timer and health debuffs on expert difficulty. It's not an easy fight.
Yeah, like it, and the fact that you start fighting Geovishap hatchlings plus a Geovishap, it was just why? I don't want to face these enemies anymore. But yeah, it was crazy. But hey, you get a free Diona.
Yes, and free
And
primos and a lot of free stuff
lots
to
of
be fair.
lots of gems, man. Lots of free primo gems on that event. So it's really crazy though. But next is the prop hunt event, also known as Win Trace. Like I find that funny because I think we joked around that this was the first time Genshin had to have has a PvP mode of sorts. So hide and seek. I
Hmm.
I think yeah, it's a fun casual mode in the midst of every challenging thing they have put in this update because it's really tricky. Like the new bosses are tricky. The This event is tricky, even though you have the disc that allows you to give yourself buffs. It's still tricky. It's the
It's still
difficulty is
difficult. Still difficult.
it's like for the best of the best. Like you need to have like a really really great lineup for this one. But apart from that, with all the difficult enemy updates that they have put, let's talk about something a bit more pleasant, a bit more enjoyable, and somewhat addictive in this update, which is the housing system.
Oh boy.
Okay, I want to ask first question here, Dango. How many trees have you wrecked in this game? Have you slapped in this update?
I'm glad I don't destroy the trees. I just slap them because if they destroy the trees, I think I may have triggered global warming in the whole of Teviat.
Yeah, I think I have deforested Teva so many
Teviat,
times
yeah.
over. But yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's just really lots of wood. just
Lots
just
of
so
wood.
much wood,
Lots of wood.
many wood. But yeah, housing system basically allows you to have a little realm for yourself, where you have a nice little mansion and a place where you can construct furniture, place furniture. You can be your interior, you can be your own interior designer in the game, and you can create your own little town, which I appreciated. I really liked
Yeah.
it. There's so many pieces of furniture to get. Basically, it's like they put every asset in the game, almost every asset in the game inside that little realm. So you can create
Yep.
your own little version of Leeway Mondstadt or a hybrid of both and just enjoy, relax. What I like the fact that some of the things you can construct, you can interact with. Like you can create your own forge, you can create your own stove, and that's really nice. But I like this because it's kind of like Sims, Minecraft. It's kind of weird, and but it's fun at the same time. It's addictive. I've seen a lot of impressive designs from players in social media. It's ridiculous on how much customization you can do. So Dangle, have you delved into this?
Well, as a person who has delved into Sims a lot and housing in FF14 in
Yeah.
particular, housing in Genshin Impact is a nice change of pace, I will say. I have seen, as you said, impressive builds as well as some dangerous builds, let's just say,
Oh,
on
I
social
think I
media.
might have an idea on that. Someone got
Yeah, I
banned for
mean,
one.
yeah, I mean, with enough creativity, you can already think of what people do with Chongli and two Geo travelers. I'll just put that out there.
I'll say it's called Dongli, but yeah, let's go.
You said it. I was just gonna be
Yeah.
indirect, but you said it. But
But
anyway,
yeah,
that
it's like
aside,
with enough
that
creativity, yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, seriousness
that
aside,
aside,
seriousness.
I did like the fact that I have my own forge. I have my own stove. Uh, I can set up a little town, and the first thing that came to mind, I'm like, wait a minute. This is new content that they can regularly update because whenever they update a game in any game, you have two kinds of new content: content that is new just for that patch and is in the game permanently, and you have new content that is just updated regularly just because of how it's designed. And housing in particular is one of the latter. So as MiHoYo releases new regions like Inazuma, which is the next one, this means that we'll get Inazuma themed furniture to craft.
Oh
So that's
god.
another thing to look forward to. And we'll also get Inazuma themed domains because we have the beach side, which is more Mondstadt, and then you have the mountainous and air regions, which is practically Liye. But I guess for the new regions, we'll get themes that fit their respective regions. So the new housing regions will fit the Inazuma theme, will fit the whole France, Italy, Egypt theme, etc. Whatever the future regions will be. The
Yeah.
one thing though I do hope they update is can we interact with the bed furniture that we have? Just
Oh
so
yeah, I
I
would
can
like to lay down after a day
I'd
of
like to give my
commissions.
character. I'd like to give Hutao a break after carrying my ass through so many floors of abyss. Like, can I give my poor Hutao a break?
I would
Let her
like to give
sleep.
my Ganyu some sleep because she
Yes.
has been carrying my team since January, essentially.
I mean,
So like,
people released a meme image of Ganyu, like Ganyu in the trailer, bow and arrow, Ganyu in gameplay, bow and nuclear bomb attached to the bow.
yeah, like give her a break a bit.
Give her a break.
Yeah, but yeah, I think initial thoughts about this update is just it's pleasant. There's a nice change of pace to everything they add. They added a super difficult event, which was ridiculous. Which was the difficulty was kind of in the ridiculous side. But hey, people wanted the challenge. MiHoYo just sent them a challenge slash death sentence. So there's that, and then the housing system. Yeah, it's just addictive. I think the fact that they allowed you to be creative is just allowing players to be creative in a game is almost always a great thing. Although of course there's some weird stuff that come out of it in between. So that's it. But yeah. So yeah, Dango, what do you think about 1.5?
I think 1.5 is a great patch because I will say that at least the new content is not that overwhelming. I know like some people might find the housing system to be quite complicated, but at least I can realistically say that you'll eventually grasp it. It's not the kind of content that blows you out of the water the moment you try to dabble into it. No. Like it will be a bit intimidating, but at least it's very casual content. It's not like it gives you primo gems as rewards. And to be fair, it's not timed content either, so you can take it at your own pace.
Oh, okay. I think before we go, I forgot there are new hangout events. There's
I
the
wish I have
Noel Part
completed
2 and
and
there's
Diona Part 1.
Diona Part 1. Wait,
Yes.
were you able to finish one of them?
Both. I already finished both.
Okay, well, I haven't finished Diona, but I did finish Noel, and being a Noel main for like 40 adventure ranks, I am happy that she has two hangout
I like
events in
her
month.
arc. I like her
Yeah,
arc. I
her
enjoyed
her
her arc. It's
character her
really cute.
character arc, I'll just say without spoilers, it's just so satisfying. It's funny, it's adorable, it's admirable. It's like it perfectly defines what her character is. Like
Yes.
it just reinforces that, and then it's just so fun to see. And then I haven't tried Diona, but I'm curious on what that content offers because hangout events just add
Oh,
more
I wish you good
personality to
luck. I
that
wish you
place.
good luck with Diona's route, by the way. I wish you good luck.
I've heard the story paths are kind of confusing, so yeah, I'm gonna be
Oh, no, no,
prepared for
no.
that.
Not
Oh,
confusing. There is one path in particular that you're like, I will
oh
say
no,
this,
is it?
Jude. If you do
But
not have a background in stealth games, I wish you good luck, sir.
okay, that's gonna be scary. As someone whose only experience in stealth games is Metal Gear Solid, even though that's a great stealth game. I'm kind of bad in that one too. But yeah, hey, yeah, 1.5 is a great update. There are talks of Inazuma coming around soon,
There's
especially
speaking
when
of
they
which,
release.
there's another thing I wanted to plug regarding Genshin Impact. Now, of course, just like any future additions or things that they plan, take it with a grain of salt. Um, Mihoyo did mention that they did plan to give Electro uh, a buff across the board. Because
uh,
generally speaking, people have been saying that out of all the elements, Electro is one of the weakest. Now, as a
I
person
can
who,
understand
I
because
yeah,
I
as
ditched.
a person who doesn't have a tier list, I'm not 100% sure, or no, not 100% sure. I don't care what element I use. I just care about how fun is this character to play. What element is he, she? Don't care. As long as it's fun, I'll play it. But as someone who did get catching as their first 5 star, I did notice that, wow, compared to the other 5 stars, unless you are C6 catching just feels a bit underwhelming. Now
I built
the thing
her
that they
half physical just to
mhm,
compensate.
yeah. Now the thing that they plan to add, Jude, is that they plan to add this feature not just for Electro, but this will definitely help Electro. When you hit level 60 with any character, they get a general elemental mastery buff for the respective element,
Oh, that's kind of
which
nice.
I think is really nice. So, you don't. I guess that you don't have to be C6 or C1 electro catching, but at least you can utilize her skill because I mean I did study a bit of her build. Like you do not want to use her skill if you are physical catching
Oh
because
God, yeah, I make that mistake.
you lose your physical buff. So you're like, wait, what's the point then of having this really nice small cooldown elemental skill if I'm not even allowed to use it? Which is sad, right? But now with this buff, I guess auto catching can be viable, but electro catching is more viable now for those who are C0 and C1. Me, I
Yeah,
think I'm C1 catching, so I don't have to be auto catching. I can be electro catching right now.
yeah,
But
really cool.
generally, this really means that electro in particular, at least, has a general buff across the board, which I think is good because I have
They've
no
been
favoritism. I have no
they've been
favoritism for
weakened.
any element. I have no
Yeah.
favorite element in particular. I will say that I was really glad when Geo got buffed in particular because it turned my Noel into and Ningguang from strong characters to oh my god, you are scary 4 stars. Like in my opinion, even before the buff, the Geo buff, I considered Ningguang to be a 5 star, but uh, a 5 star that's a 4 star in disguise. Sorry, a
Well,
four
Bennett.
star that's a 5 star in disguise. Sorry, got that mixed
Yeah,
up.
well, I can just say that the highest tier character in Genshin is Bennett. That guy is a 6 star in my eyes.
6 star.
Especially
Bennett,
just at
very
C1, he's a 6 star. He buffs
yes.
everyone. He's a pyro character with the combines well with all other elements, and he's just an all around great guy.
Bennett's
So
chemistry, Bennett's chemistry in any lineup is literally infinite.
the fact that it fits everything. But yeah, electro buffs, I agree. Like electro feels like it doesn't get as much love. It's a strong element, but like when you use cryo or pyro, it does a bit more damage. It hurts a bit
It
more. So I
not just
just
that.
wish.
You think about the major design flaw of Electro. One of the strongest, in my opinion, one of the strongest elemental reactions of Electro is with Cryo. That's superconduct because it shreds physical resistance. But here's the problem. Like, wait a minute. Why would I be doing elemental reactions if my major benefit from that is a physical damage buff? That's kind of weird. Now it fits characters like say Rosaria, Eula, and Razor who are primarily physical damage builds, but I see that more as a wasted I see that more as an opportunity cost. Instead of stacking up benefits like if you were to do say melt or vaporize, because you're just buffing the damage you do now even more. And
Yeah.
the damage that you deal to maximize the elemental reaction is just even more. But when you're running like a physical based character that does the reaction you need, like for Rosaria, you are not going to run, especially if you run Rosaria as a main DPS, you are not running anything cryo on her. It's a waste. So that ultimately means that your elemental skill, which triggers cryo damage to trigger the superconduct elemental reaction, is meh. When it could,
Yeah.
when compared to other reactions, it's really strong. Like,
Yeah, like other elemental reactions shred enemies, destroy, make enemies disappear in front of you sometimes. But yeah, like I think Electro needs a buff, and with Inazuma coming, and that's the god of the Electro Archon. I think it's about time they should buff that place. But
yep.
yeah, that's it for Genshin Impact, and that's it for the episode. But before we leave, let's have a little promo from our friends at Podmetrics. So Steven will be back. I think Steven would be here until the end of the episode too. So let's just go.
Yeah. All right. So Podmetrics aggregates data from Anchor, Spotify, Chartable, Facebook Live, and YouTube in order to show you the real picture of how your show is doing. And when you know your show, you can grow your show. The best part is it's absolutely free. Sign up now at podmetrics.co and don't forget to use the referral code GEEKYJUANS right there on the bottom of the screen. All right.
Oh yeah,
Um,
okay. So
yeah, that's it.
with that in, yeah, that's
You
it.
can check us
And
out at. All right. Sorry, I
well, you
forgot to do
can
the
find the
outro.
geeky ones at your favorite podcast sites. Well, first there's the
Yep, that's right.
geekyones.com, our blog site where we post various geeky stuff. We can also follow at the Geeky Ones on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube channels. So that's all there. We are available. The audio version of this episode is available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So, um, the audio version releases by the middle of next week, the upcoming
Yeah.
week. So stay tuned for that.
Yep.
If you missed this episode live, you can watch this on Facebook. You can also download and listen this on the go on audio. So that's gonna be
All
good.
right. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Stevie Said Yup. You can find Jude at Jude Thomas Cruz on social media and Dude It's Jude on FB. You can
Yeah.
find Dangoflash Gaming on Facebook and Twitch. All right. So once again, thank you so much to Dangoflash for joining us on this very loaded update-filled episode of the Geeky
Hey, I
Ones,
enjoyed it.
episode 73. Thank you very
Yeah,
much,
there was a
man.
lot of stuff. There was a lot
Don't
of
don't forget to catch his Resident Evil Village stream. When is it again, Dango?
I'll be streaming the demo tomorrow when it releases.
All
awesome.
right. Don't forget to catch that. So, for Dango Flash, for Jude, I'm Steven. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.